Hey, it's Blake Tobez. Hope you're doing well. This video has no financial agenda behind it. It is purely from the heart. I just wanted to share this information from you as it's coming to me. I would have shared it a bit sooner, but honestly, I wanted to make sure that they had all the data. And they're about to publish a scientific paper here in the next month, okay, in January 22nd, around there, on spectacular findings of stuff that I saw firsthand. So in the past year and a half, I had been really diving into meditations, namely Joe Dispenza's work in using meditation in order to create ideal outcomes in your life, create healings, all that stuff. And I saw it firsthand. These healings, the kind of healings that you would say were just miraculous, as if there was divine intervention. Well, funny enough, there was, but as if that had just been, commonplace. And that's what I've witnessed, and I really can't go back from that. And every time I try to pretend like it doesn't exist, or every time I forget it, and I am reminded of this existing in the present reality that we're living in right now, I'm just completely wowed. So I'm going to share this with you. It's a letter that was wrote by a doctor at one of the universities in San Diego, University of California in San Diego. And Dispenza here, he's prefacing at the very beginning. He's, this doctor. I've seen this guy speak 3 times, like the doctor that he's talking about in this letter. Go through 2-hour long presentation about the research that they've been doing, how meditation can cure COVID. Okay, and this is a pretty touchy subject, but not only can meditation, specifically the kind of meditations that Dispenza teaches, cure meditation or cure COVID, but it can cure cancer, paralysis. I have seen people come to these events in wheelchairs, and towards the end of the week, they'd be walking on the beach. This is real, all right? People who have not been able to see have now got their sight back. Same thing with the hearing, with smell. For me, when I had COVID, I had a symptom that was lasting for a bit where I couldn't smell or taste anything. During one of these meditation sessions, I achieved a level of coherence and interacted with a energy that was greater than my own, and was able to embody that, and then it healed my cells. And there's science behind it. There's science indicating what is actually happening to the specific cells. I'll just go ahead and jump into this and read it for you. So, hello geniuses. As the holidays are fast approaching and the year comes to a close, it seems like a good time to update our community on what's been happening with our meditation research at the University of California, San Diego. It's astounding how many amazing discoveries we made in such a short period of time, and there seems no end to the insights that we expect to gain in the years to come. I sometimes have to remind myself that I met Dr. Joe only 2 years ago, and as a research and professor in my line of work, I talk to a lot of people throughout the day. And because I am so surprised and excited about what we're uncovering with Dr. Joe's community, I can't help but share the findings. I usually start by showing a tiny piece of data, and upon seeing their jaws drop, the conversation often turns into an hour-plus exploration of our research findings. The most common reaction I receive from skeptics upon witnessing the approaches we've taken is the enormity of data that we've collected. And the results we've discovered is one of disbelief, myself included. Ultimately, these conversations lead to acceptance, not to mention a curiosity to further explore the untold, wide-reaching benefits of meditation. And as Dr. Joe says, evidence is the loudest voice. Okay, so the evolution of our research, after my initial week-long experience in Orlando in April 2021, I have been very fortunate to attend 2 advanced follow-up retreats, one in Marco Island in September and one in a few weeks ago in Denver. These events were a whirlwind of activity, experiences, and research that has allowed us to look at the impact of meditation upon molecular and biochemical changes. This is exciting because in the next evolution of our research, we observed that the week-long advanced retreat has the potential to make a novice meditator look like an experienced meditator, a monk, right? The fact that this occurs in 7 days is absolutely astonishing, not to mention a testament to the experience and dedication of Dr. Joe's students and community. It seems like the majority of beginners who attend a week-long advanced retreat, whether they know it or not, are doing the work well. When I describe what I see at the event to others, one observation comes up time and time again. This community is of committed individuals who show up and who show purpose and drive. When there is a lecture or meditation, students are focused and all in, ready to stretch their minds and hearts to the next level. I am quite sure that when I lecture at University of San Diego, University of California, San Diego, the majority of the class is watching the latest and greatest Netflix. Maybe they're checking email or surfing the web. So here's the question. At the Marco Island Advanced Follow-Up Retreat, we asked the question, can long-time experienced meditators and the newly minted novices evolve their biology even further when pushed in an advanced environment? The study focused on 15 experienced students and followed them over 3 days. The blood data is currently pending, and we hope to have some findings to report in the new year. What was evident from the data we gathered on site, however, was that many of these individuals had profound brain activity changes during the meditation, what we refer to as POPs. These changes were not anomalies or rare events, as one would expect, but common and routine. Soon after these subjects experienced their POP, we took blood samples. If it's anything like our preliminary findings with other students who've had similar experiences, we expect to find something substantial in these biological samples, and we eagerly await the results. I met the guy, by the way, who was one of the test subjects, just as a side note from me, Blake. I met the guy and I had a conversation with him. Awesome, amazing man. Okay, father of several kids. So he's in his 30s, and he at this moment in time is one of the key pieces of evidence in this whole scientific experiment. His blood, when tested after meditation, withstood the SARS-CoV-19 spike whenever the protein interacts with, or whenever the virus interacts with the blood cells, it withstood that. And by the way, he wasn't immune before, because the blood before the meditation, it just got annihilated by it. So I'll keep reading here. Just want to do that side note. What was evident from the data we gathered on site, however, was that many of these individuals had profound brain activity. I already said that. The findings, as the year comes to end, we are about to close the chapter on the impact of meditation on SARS-CoV-2 infection. As promised, I will tell you the amazing story of what we've discovered, leaving you with a cliffhanger that will be revealed at the Marco Island week-long advanced retreat in January 2022. There will be a free live stream during that event on Friday, January 14th, so mark your calendar. Over the last few months, I have been reporting on the meditation COVID survey results that many of you have participated in. The survey captured responses from 3,000 individuals representing 66 countries, and the results reveal some of the very unique characteristics about the Unlimited/Dr. Joe community. Before I begin, it's important to note that the community is ethnically diverse. 6 of the 7 countries are represented. And even in the face of many morbidities, the community has been overwhelming about their view of their health, overwhelmingly positive, as well as an unwavering commitment to their meditation practice. Analyzing a large data set over 63 geospatial units across the world, where we had at least 10 respondents in a local region, we see a highly significant correlation between the length of the meditation experience and COVID-19 positive diagnosis. Individuals who meditated more than 6 months had more than 50% reduction in COVID-19 diagnosis relative to those who had never meditated. We also found a link between meditation dosing, meaning those who meditated just once a day, which is a large dose, versus once a week, which is a small dose. And so they had less COVID-19 diagnosis. Even more intriguing is the fact that even if experienced meditators got COVID, they had less symptoms and recovered faster. This is absolutely amazing to see across the globe. As a side note, I got COVID on my second time that I got COVID. It was terrible. I felt like I was having fever dreams. It was bad. But every time I would do these meditations, I felt fully healthy and recovered for a good 20 to 30 minutes. But then it would come back. So it's something that you got to keep doing. For a number of the retreats before and during, or at least for me, for a number of the retreats before and during COVID, we have been collecting blood from controls, new meditators, experienced meditators, and we have developed tools to validate the population's survey data on the molecular scale. These blood samples allow us to determine if there are certain specific factors which are induced by meditation that impact SARS-CoV-2 viral biology, and to correlate the findings to the effects we see on COVID-19 in the human population surveys. We did this by making pseudoviruses that had a spike protein from the SARS-CoV-2, but it doesn't contain the rest of the virus. So instead, we pack these viruses with genetic material that makes a red protein, okay? So seeing as the real virus uses a spike protein to bind and internalize in the cells, this pseudovirus allows us to track the dynamics of the SARS-CoV-2 infection. We also used lung airway epithelial cells, the first cell the virus would encounter if you were to breathe it in, to perform the adoptive transfer experiments. We did this because we were adopting the experience and factors created by meditation to these human cells that have never experienced meditation. We then exposed them to the blood plasma we collected from the subjects at the events. Okay, are you with me still? So they collected these samples, and since we have the pre and post plasma from controls, novices and experienced meditators, we could look at the variety of controls and experimental conditions. Now, what's exciting is that we found the plasma from experienced meditators collected after a week-long advanced retreat, and it contained the factors that prevented the pseudovirus from getting into the cells. Okay? So we then tested against the actual COVID-2 virus, right, as well as the Delta variant, and found the same protection using the plasma from the experienced meditators. Hello. We then determined that if we heated the sample, the effect was lost. Heating plasma, like cooking an egg, will result in denaturing. So if we spin the plasma at high forces, we can collect all the solid particles and separate them from the liquid plasma. And we found that if we could just put just the fluid on the adoptive assay of lung cells, there was no protection from the virus. On the other hand, when we put the solid and more dense stuff that was collected at the very bottom of the test tube, okay, the very bottom, that the protection was present. So this led to us to conclude that the specific protein or proteins from the experienced meditators in the particulate component of the plasma, it's what creates the protection of SARS-CoV-2. Okay. And again, guys, there was like a whole hour-and-a-half long presentation. He was showing us the machine used to isolate these proteins and all the the spinning that happened and the tests and all these graphs. It was really cool. So now for the cliffhanger. Knowing that it was a protein, there are lots of tools we can use to identify the proteins of interest. So we literally just started fishing. We performed immunoprecipitation that uses the spike protein antibody as the bait and fish it out from the controls, novices, and experienced meditators before and after meditation. What the pseudovirus binds to in the plasma. Since the effect was seen in the experienced meditators post-meditation workshop, we focused on the content of the proteins we fished out from this group. Okay, so they got the proteins from this group, and then they identified 100 proteins that bind in the complex material and that may have potential interest. So, however, when looking through the different proteins, one caught my eye. We started looking directly at this protein and its biological properties in detail, which explained the data we see in the human population survey and the pseudovirus assay. We have since validated the effect in a pure system with gain and loss function studies, as well as target validation. The identity of this protein will be revealed during the live stream, okay? Along with the full manuscript of the entire data set. I'm so looking forward to that, by the way. The exciting news is that we are publishing our first scientific paper, or paper for scientific review, close to the same time in January. We expect to create a huge splash in the scientific research community. Thank you for guarding this update. Thank you for commitment to the community. Look forward to sharing with you here, all that. Yeah, guys, so I appreciate you staying with me this far into this entire readout, but I wanted to emphasize, I've been to 3 events over the past year and a half, and I've seen this study develop over time. And this is incredible research because if you're still skeptical, just go to Dispenza's YouTube channel, go look at all the testimonials of people who have changed their biology, and you will see how significant of a breakthrough this is. Because this is a system that anybody can go through in order to heal themselves. Okay, but a lot of it has to do with changing your beliefs, which thus in turn change your biology. Now, where do we go from here? What am I going to do? It's kind of my life's mission now to make sure everybody that I know that has any kind of ailment, any kind of illness, or they're not really set on where they want to be in their life, I want to expose them to this information. I will not be a guru, okay? But I will learn the hell out of this information and share it with people that are open-minded to it. So if you're looking forward to connecting more on this information, definitely hit me up on Instagram. I would love to hear your thoughts about this breakthrough that's going on. And yeah, people think I'm crazy whenever I tell them that meditation can cure their COVID, can prevent their COVID, cure their cancer, all that stuff. And they'll not just say I'm crazy, they'll be like, hey man, that's kind of insensitive. Like, you're not making sense. I'm like, well, dude, my ex-girlfriend's aunt healed herself through thought alone from her cancer. My mom has not got cancer, like and she was, in a stage 3 cervical cancer, right, several years ago. But she started picking up on this and is, her health is like just skyrocketed. Cured my COVID. All those people I talked about from the event, if they lived in Puerto Rico, I would have them over here right now explaining this to you. But you need not, fret that I can't interview any of them right now. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that on this channel. I'll interview somebody who's been a testimonial. But just go to the YouTube channel and Dispenza's YouTube channel and watch these testimonials. These people are changed. It's really cool, and it wasn't religion. It was not a religion. It was themselves. Okay? But you can kind of see how at these little religious events, the people that have spontaneous healings, it's because they connected with the energy that was greater than them, and they had full belief that that energy could envelop and embody them, and that energy was at a higher vibration. It was able to change the actual structure of their cells and their DNA. Okay, that's why it's important to learn about this stuff. It's why it's way more important than how to make money, how to do because this is part of our future. Okay, if we don't understand this information, we're always going to be stuck in a fucking endless cycle of looking for solutions outside of ourselves to make us happy or to heal us, when really it's all within us. We all have the power, irrespective of background, age, gender, all that. So, love somebody, show them this video, and have a great day. Hope to connect with you soon via Instagram.